Hello and welcome to Geek Mythology. This is episode 18 and no Toby.
No Toby.
He disappeared.
Where's he gone?
In all the, I don't know, maybe he went to another dimension, who knows.
Yeah.
So we're here today to talk about premieres and pilots.
Yes.
Premieres and pilots. Not the people who fly you from destination to destination, but the pilot episodes of TV shows.
The PPs.
For those of you playing at home. The PPs. Okay.
Premieres and pilots. The PPs.
Alright, we're talking about PPs today. Have you guys seen any good PPs lately?
Yes. No, actually, I haven't been watching any.
That's fine. So we'll start how we usually start with a round of power.
Cool.
Tara, do you want to go first?
I feel like mine's going to be the most complicated out of everyone.
That's fine, then we'll start with Lel.
We'll go for you then.
We'll start with Lel.
Oh, okay, start with me. I've been playing some Fallout this week, which I was very excited about.
Cool.
Is it going to be the new FIFA? Fallout? Are you just playing Fallout every week?
Yeah.
Well, I was playing it for a little bit and
But which
then
one
I
were you
sidetracked.
playing?
New Vegas.
I was playing Fallout.
3. Fallout number 1.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Did you get that on Steam?
1996. Yeah.
No.
They had a special because it was the summer Steam sales.
Sale.
So they had Fallout 1, 2, and 3.
Cool.
Like the
Yeah.
PC ones. So it's really fucking hard and it really takes forever because it's all turn-based fighting. It takes forever and there's like a billion rats and like you all have to take turns and you know it takes a really long time. So I've been doing that. Last week we played a little bit of Battle Block Theatre.
We did?
We did that cooperatively. We got pretty far. I think we played for like 7 hours or something. So
yeah, well, I think we got...
time just got away from us. We did a lot of that. So after you left, I was like, I have to play more because it was so much fun. I played it by myself, not as good.
No.
But we'll get back to
They
that
never
later.
are.
It's still fun, but it's just the
But
cooperative.
a lot of the fun was in us playing
and like,
together. Yep.
like doing a really good run and like having it like perfect and
Yeah.
getting the time and timing good and all that kind of stuff. What else have I played? I played a little bit of Guitar Hero, but my guitar was broken, so I played with a controller. It was really, really hard.
You went, I'm going to play some Guitar Hero. Oh no, my controller's broken. I'm going to play it anyway.
Yeah, I was just like, fuck it, I'll just do it anyway. So yeah.
I actually taught myself once to play drums on the controller with my feet while I was playing guitar. Yeah, that was the thing I did for some reason. Because if you play it on medium, it's only like 2 buttons.
Right.
And so I could play it with my toes.
So it's like your little toe friends.
Yeah.
To play with.
That's crazy.
Then if I added the singing in, it would have been great. It would have been like one-man band.
A one-man band
But
Guitar
like
Hero.
you can tap a beat while you're playing when you're playing guitar.
That's
super
fine.
easy. I just thought I was doing 3 or 4 buttons.
That would actually be really cool.
I really
like
wanna
if somebody did that.
Like rock band though. I want to get all the instruments and stuff.
Mm.
What else did I play?
Oh.
I played some Dead or Alive, because you know, it was fun. And that's it. So watching, I've just been doing a lot of YouTube, lived on YouTube for the last 3 weeks. And Polaris Go, been watching a lot of that. And I watched Geek and Sundry. I know that you've mentioned that before, and they had a really cool thing called Spooked.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was so good.
I haven't watched it yet. We had one of the actors on for one of our live shows, and he was really funny. But I need to watch it because I want to see what's her name. What's her face from Last of Us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that chick. Yeah.
What's her face?
Yeah.
The one.
Yeah.
Ashley something.
Ashley something.
Okay. I can't remember. But I watched it.
Toby
and it
was
really,
here. He
really,
would
really
know.
fun.
Yeah. Well,
Where are you,
Geek and
Toby?
Geek and Sundry have been
Come back
making really
to
good
us.
shows for a while now.
And it was surprisingly scary. Like the first one I watched was like Brothers something, and it was about 2 brothers. And it freaked me out. I was like, oh my god,
That's
this is
kinda
going to be one of those ones where I'm like this, and then it kind of got funny, so it was fine. And I haven't read anything because YouTube's fun. Yeah. Your turn.
Yeah. Actually, before we go on, we should acknowledge that we're in a new set today. We've moved
You're
from...
a brilliant host.
Yeah, I know.
Just like interrupt
Thank
the
you.
whole segment just to talk about where we are.
We're on a couch now.
Yeah, we have
Couches.
couches and a whole new
And
wall.
We're badly lit and there's lots of echo, and we're
Yeah.
sorry for that.
That's fine. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
we've
we'll
gone from
make it
Toby's place to my place, so...
Next week, Mars.
Yeah, we just go further away from Toby's place. But cool. I've been playing, watching, reading, playing. Not much. A bunch of.
Battle Block Theatre?
I played Battle Block Theatre, but you already mentioned that.
Yeah.
I've been playing a bunch of Geometry Dash, which she got me on from last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's about it. Haven't been playing much at all. Watching a bunch of new stuff has come out. Legend of Korra, which I'll talk about later as well.
What about that? I
Yeah.
haven't watched it yet. I wait for the whole season though.
Oh
We
man.
have a tradition actually between my friends where we wait for the whole season and then we go down to my parents' house and we get drunk the night before and then spend the whole day just eating chicken nuggets and watching Legend of Korra. We've done it for the
Sounds like
first
a
two
brilliant
seasons.
day. Yeah.
For the first 2 seasons, we're going to do it for this one, no
Nuggets.
doubt.
Cool. So
Next week
yeah.
we should eat chicken nuggets while we're talking.
We should. Why don't we have chicken nuggets now? We can
You're a
pause
bad host.
this and get chicken nuggets.
Do you have chicken
It's too
nuggets?
late now.
No, we can go.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere.
Actually, my local Macca's delivers.
Are you fucking
But
serious?
I'm serious.
Mind blown.
What?
Anyway,
How far do they no. How far away do they deliver
I'm
to
not
you?
sure. They
I'm
might
gonna
deliver
look
to you.
this shit up. I can't believe they deliver. It's
Yeah,
so exciting.
North Macca's, man. Come on. Yeah, a lot of new stuff. I've seen a couple movies lately, which we'll talk about later as well. 22 Jump Street I saw, and Transformers 4. What else have I been watching? You know, just Naruto, One Piece, all of my normal shows. Actually, a lot of my normal shows. Oh, Crossbones has been good recently. I've been getting into that. And then a couple new pilots as well. Yeah.
Oh, Hamish and Andy, that came out last night. I want to watch that tonight. Yep.
Yeah, the gap year,
If anyone
South
knows
America.
what Hamish and Andy is.
Yeah, of course.
Everyone does. It's Australia.
Everyone knows. Yeah,
Well,
but
just
even
letting
our
you know.
international viewers, check out Hamish and Andy.
.com.au
.com.au and
and
any
download
of
the
their
podcast.
gap year stuff. It's hilarious.
I actually,
Good.
I've never been a fan of the Gap Year, but I love their show, like their radio show so much. So
Yeah.
I just used to
Oh yeah,
podcast
they've got
that.
they do a podcast. So yeah,
Yeah.
check them out.
Good. Just
And
random plug.
be my best friends, Hamish and Andy. I know you're fans and you watch the show. I just nearly picked my nose. I went to go like that, and I kind of I know you're fans of the show, so come hang out.
Fun fact: my sister actually went on. Wait, they had a competition once for the biggest nerds in Australia.
Yeah.
And they flew them all to Queensland to like go to some nerd camp or whatever. I don't know. My sister won it.
Well, cool.
She's a nerd.
One of my friends won one of their fishing
Yeah.
trips.
Actually rode an elevator with them once.
Oh yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah. I went to the Arias a few years ago. My friend Josh was like working the Arias, and he would sneak me in. Just
Sorry,
keep
Josh.
that-
you're
keep that-
fucked now.
keep that between all of
You
us.
should have used a random name, man. You said his real name.
No, that isn't his real name. I used a random one already.
Oh.
So yeah, and we were heading up to his hotel room to get changed and whatever. And Hamish and Andy were heading down from
That's
their hotel
amazing.
room. And so for about
20 seconds.
something like that, we rode an elevator together, and I was like,
Did you do anything?
I just shook their hands and said, "Hey, I'm a big fan," and they're like, "Yeah, thanks, mate." I was like, "You looking forward to the show?" I was like, "Yes." Yeah, so I think that was their first time hosting the Arias. So
Oh,
Oh, they hosted that year.
a couple of years they hosted.
Oh,
I think 2 or 3 years in a row.
cool.
I also met Chris Cheney from The Living End that day. So yeah, that
Who
was
was
a
it
pretty
that
good
you
day for me.
randomly met in the Blue Mountains?
That was
Christian.
no, that was Gooch from Scrubs,
Oh,
who
yeah.
is I forget her name. How can I do that? It's fine. Yeah, I forget her name. But I met Gooch from Scrubs. If anyone remembers,
Just
like, the
randomly
little
walking around the
ukulele
Blue
girl.
Mountains.
Yeah, I was in the
She's
Blue
from that
Mountains.
band,
and
right?
she's Garfunkel and Oates.
Yeah.
She has a comedy duo. Kate McCucci. Kate McCucci, for all of you playing at home. That's the second time I've said that. I'm not going to say that anymore this episode. And then about almost a year later, I met Ted from Scrubs.
In the Blue Mountains?
No, not in the Blue Mountains. I went to one of his shows for his a cappella band, and I got to meet them all. And while I was talking to him, I mentioned that I had met Kate McCucci, and he was like, "Oh wow!" And I was like, "Yeah, it's almost exactly a year ago. That it was like a couple days." So I've met Gooch and Ted from Scrubs, and they were in love in the show.
I want to meet Zach Braff.
Yeah. Oh,
I missed
don't we
out.
all want
I
to
got
meet
really
Zach
drunk and I
Braff?
tweeted him once. I was like, "You're so
Just what?
cute. I love you." And I was like,
Dude, he probably doesn't even read that. Like,
I
I'm
hope
sorry
so.
to take that
I
away
know.
from
I don't know.
I'm
I think he
hoping
has
so.
I think he does kind of pay
Yeah,
attention
he
to.
would to some extent. He probably gets stouts today. I was supposed to go to the Wish I Was Here premiere where my
Yeah.
friends took photos with him after, but it was like 2
Mm.
days after I flew back to Australia.
Oh,
And I also missed the Sydney one because I was in the States, so I missed them both, and I was like,
That's tough.
That's
what
creepy.
else?
Reading, haven't really read much. I started
Were you
1984.
Were you reading comics?
Yeah, I read comics, but I haven't really had enough money to buy them lately, so I've had to take a step back from those. A couple of them. Actually, one, a new Infinity Crisis in the New 52 canon. There's an Infinity Crisis, so it's digital comic exclusive, and they're only like $1 each. And yeah, they're really interesting because it brings in all the other 52 universes within the DC universe. So yeah, it's really cool. And I've been reading, I forget the author's name, but he's famous, 1984, George Orwell's 1984. I have heard a lot about it, and yeah, so I've just started getting into the audiobook of that.
I'd be really interested. I know they made a movie, but they made a movie years ago. I haven't seen it yet, but I should watch it one day.
Yeah, so yeah, it's super interesting already, and I've only listened to about 40 minutes to an hour of it.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's so relevant right now as well.
Yeah.
Like the way that we somehow turned out exactly
Yeah,
like
the
it said.
way he had that idea of the future from the 40s when he
Yeah.
wrote it, like, yeah, it's just, you know. So yeah, that's it. Tara.
Cool. Well, see,
Tara's been in the States for a couple of weeks.
but I've
so
also
that's
just
why
I
she's
haven't been on a podcast for a really long time.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
how
for-
many you did while I wasn't there, but I
Oh, we did one or two.
one. Yeah,
Mm,
whatever.
yeah.
Anyway, it's been a while, so I feel like there's a lot. I feel like I need to catch up on my life right now with all the things I've been doing.
Well, bring us along.
Because like I should have a million things to talk about. I was at E3, didn't play a single game.
She
No
was
play.
working E3,
Yeah,
not just there for.
So no, yeah,
fun
I
times.
just went there and stared at everyone. I didn't even know that I didn't play any games.
That's what I do in life every day. Like that, you know, just stare at people.
Okay.
That was awkward.
Yeah.
But I let it happen.
Stop. Okay.
So yeah, so I don't know. I'm really that's for playing wise. I think the last game that I played that I probably didn't talk about was Murdered Soul Suspect, but
Right, yeah.
but I mean that was a while ago.
So
I really
cool,
liked
yeah.
that game. That's a good game. I played it in 2 sittings.
Yeah.
2 discontinuous sittings. It was good. And then the other day I played a little bit of Goat Simulator because it came out for Mac
How's that?
and Linux. I don't really get it.
There's a new one called Mountain Simulator.
Oh, do you play Mountain? What do
No.
you do?
I don't know.
Do you like snow? You create snow and then avalanches?
No, I don't know,
Try
but
kill as many
apparently
people
it's
as you can
like
with avalanches?
apparently it's transcendent or something like that.
Oh,
I
right.
think-
Like
I don't
those
know.
flower ones where you play flower on PlayStation? That doesn't matter. Goat Simulator, it's okay. I think that there must be more to it, but I didn't play long enough to sort of figure it
I
out.
thought the joke was like that it is glitchy
Bad.
and weird.
It is glitchy and weird,
Yeah.
but that's fine.
I thought that was like
I just,
the
there's just
thing.
it seems to be really small. There's not really much to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that I was disappointed by that, but I
And
did
there's like little
kill
gold
lots of people.
statues that you have to collect. Somewhere.
Yeah, you do like little like objectives. So you jump however high or fall from wherever or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But they just got to be repetitive even after about 20 minutes of playing. But it's
Yep.
still funny. Like it's cute. But I paid like $6 for it in the sale. So like that's a lot of money to pay in a
Yeah.
Steam sale. Whatever. It's out on Mac and Linux. So if you want to play that, you can now. If you have a Mac. That's like the only things that I've been playing.
So what have you been watching?
What haven't I been watching? That's fake.
Yeah.
I have been watching a lot of TV shows because I've been just out and about and busy and doing stuff. So I marathoned Orange is the New Black.
I watch that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You should watch that. It's a great show.
No, it is really good.
It's
Yeah.
a really, really, really good
I
show.
haven't seen season 2 yet, but I've seen all of season 1 yet.
I can't. I don't know how I'm gonna wait for season 3. I mean, this
That
point
Christmas
right now-
episode, this season
Did-
finale
Is there,
of season 1,
did I miss an episode? There was just,
they did a
Oh, yeah.
pageant.
yeah,
yeah.
I do remember
I
that.
haven't watched any of it.
Okay, there's no spoilers, but I did decide to watch it on the plane. That was what I put on my iPad for the 2 plane trips. You're very close to people on the plane. People can see over your shoulder.
Oh, the lesbian
There's
sex
a lot of
scene.
lesbian
Yeah.
sex. So I had to be really careful about that. Luckily, I had a whole row to myself.
First
on the way
5
back.
seconds of the first episode,
Yeah,
there's lesbian
It's
shower
just-
scene.
there is a lot of lesbian sex.
Mm.
So if you're gonna watch it on a plane, invest in like a little box.
Just put your head in a little box.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just be a bit careful of
Just
the
make sure
people
you
around
poke
you.
air holes in it. Just, yeah.
Not a Tupperware box.
Not a Tupperware, no.
Cardboard box. That'd be alright.
Get
Yeah.
one of those those jumpers that turn the hoodie bits that go
Yeah,
down.
yeah,
Like,
and
it's
extended hoodie.
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, TV wise, I decided that I would start watching 90210 from the beginning of the new season. The new series.
The new series.
one. It's pretty crappy, but I'm watching it because it's something to do.
Is that your guilty little pleasure?
I watch all of the crappy shows.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone knows I watch all of the crappy shows. I have watched some good shows, some sort of one-offs that have been coming up. I think we're going to get to that later, so I'll leave those ones to be a bit mysterious. Movie-wise, I've seen a few good ones recently. Happy Christmas, Anna Kendrick's latest one with the chick from Girls.
Right.
It's like
Lena
an
Dunham.
improv. Yeah, and it's Joe Swanberg, and he does these really cool improvised, like Drinking Buddies was one where they just got drunk and made a movie.
So it's like Drinking Buddies.
Very similar. Cool. It's really funny. Other standout ones. I watched All Cheerleaders Die, and I didn't hate it.
Right.
It's quite a good movie. It's quite funny. Worth a watch, even though it's like a sort of horror movie cheerleading. Caitlin Stacey's in it, and she's great. And other than that, I've got a list. I've got a list of all the things that I watched. Edge of Tomorrow. I watched that.
Yeah,
recently.
I watched that as well.
It's a good movie.
Yeah,
It's
not
not
bad.
bad.
Yeah.
I was like really
I
surprised.
really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Oh, was that the Tom Cruise one?
Yeah, Tom Cruise, Groundhog Day meets
Titanfall.
Titanfall, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, basically, because he reloads his life, like he respawns. But yeah, it wasn't bad. I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I also
It had a lot of good humour. Like, I was surprised by how funny it was.
Was kind of good as
well.
It just sort of worked.
Yeah.
But considering I went into it thinking I was going to hate it, I didn't hate it. So that was interesting. I also really liked Oculus, which was Karen Gillan's horror movie, recent horror movie, which was scary but in a good way. Like
jumping on the catchphrase there, the Oculus word. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. They should have probably thought about renaming that. It got it. Now it's a bit. Oh well.
But if people Google Oculus Rift, the movie might come up, and it's just.
That's true.
It's smart.
That's true. Good marketing, but it'll probably get lost in all the other Oculus.
Maybe.
Anyway, it's a good movie. It's a good horror movie, even if you're not into horror, because that's how I feel. Except her American accent is so bad. But we know that. We know that already. We're going to talk about that later because she's in one of the pilots. And the last movie that I saw that I really liked was The Pretty One, which is an indie film about twins, and then one of them dies and she takes over the other one's life. It's really good though. So if you're into that kind of stuff, check that one out.
But they're twins. Why can't they just be?
Because one of them is really nerdy and then one of them's really hot.
Right.
And
the nerdy one takes over the hot one's life. Right.
Obviously. And it's got, I can't think of the name, and I'm not even going to try and figure out where she's from, but it's got a girl in it that I really like, the main character. She's a good actress. And that's what I've been watching.
Cool.
Yay.
What have I been reading? Very little. I read a little bit of Paper Towns. I started that. That's it. Oh, wait. How long ago since I talked to you guys?
A couple of weeks.
Quite a while. I
3-4
also watched, I read a book called If I Stay, which they're making a movie out of, and Chloe Moretz is in it. And that's really good. I read those two books, but I don't know who they're by or anything. So.
And they're alright?
Yeah, they were good books. I think the movie's going to be kind of cool. It's another one of those ones. I read it just after
What was it called?
It's called If I Stay.
If I Stay.
So it's about this girl who is in a car crash and then is in a coma, and so she's sort of like a ghost, and she sees what's happening around her and all her family and stuff around her, and has to decide whether or not she lives or dies.
Right.
So it's quite, but it's a teen romance one at the same time. So it's a bit of that, but it's good. It's a good book, and it's going to be a good movie. Check that out.
Cool.
That's my power.
Alright, let's move on.
Yeah.
What do we got next? We
Discussion.
talking about
no, news. Let's do a tiny
we're doing
bit of news. There's been some
Hermes headlines.
But just a couple, because there's only a couple that we actually care about.
Yeah.
This is what happens when Toby goes away. He's the one that cares about news. We don't.
Yeah.
What I do care about is Community coming back for season 6.
Correct. Yay!
And there wasn't really that much doubt in my mind that someone would pick it up. But
Yahoo Screen,
it's Sony.
that was
It's
strange.
owned by Sony,
right.
so they'll be producing it, which is good. Sony tends to do some good stuff. Probably means we'll get a movie out of it too if Sony owns it.
Hopefully, yeah, but they haven't made any promises.
No, but come on.
Yeah.
What
How
a
can they
genius-
not?
What
If
a
they can make
genius
some money
thing to
out of
put
it.
into the first season, going 6 seasons
Seasons
in a movie, and
yeah.
now everyone is behind that.
Yeah.
So that's happening. And that do we know when that's happening or when it's coming out?
No, but I
They're
would
obviously getting ready
assume
to make it.
we'd hear they'd shoot it before the end of the year.
Yeah.
Might even see some before the end of the year.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Still no Troy. He's not coming back.
Yeah, no, but
Everyone
all the
else.
other major actors are still in it. Yeah.
As long as Abed's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone else.
Abed
will
and
be.
Annie.
I'm pretty excited for that because I'm a big fan. The other news is Doctor Who finally got it. I don't know if you guys, you're not Doctor Who fans. It doesn't
You
matter.
know what? Maybe I should just binge watch some Doctor Who.
There's quite a bit though.
Just
That's
start
50
from
years worth.
no, just start from,
Start from New Doctors.
9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Ninth Doctor, which is that it's considered season 1, so you can watch from season 1 now.
I might have to talk to you about it after.
Yeah.
I move.
But they're up to season 8 of the new seasons, so that's the one that's airing in August. The release date is August 23rd. Is when the first episode of the 8th season with the 12th Doctor, 12th, 11th, 12th.
9th, 10th,
Well,
11th,
he's technically
12th.
the 13th, but we're not
Yeah,
really
but-
counting that because there was that Doctor that no one talks about who was evil, but it doesn't really matter. So we're up to the 12th Doctor, and I'm super keen. It's going to be an interesting season
Cool.
because it's got old people now. He's old. The Doctor is really old.
Well, he's not really old.
He's
He's
pretty
middle-aged. He's 50 something.
It's gonna be a bit weird since we went from like the young Doctor and Clara's like fully in love with this guy, and now it's like an old man, and you're like, well. There's also a new teaser trailer. It's only about 8 seconds or something. I haven't watched it, but that is out, so you can watch that before August 23rd, and then watch a new season.
Good stuff.
Last bit of news, which is going to tie into the pilots that we're going to talk about. It's just that one of the pilots hasn't even aired yet. It's already been cancelled.
Yeah, the Egyptian
Hieroglyph.
drama called Hieroglyph.
Which was sort of like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, or Rome,
meets-
or
or Vikings, sort of any
Vikings,
one of those.
that kind of style
I
show.
will watch that.
Very Americanized because they've done it with like those Viking and Game of Thrones and stuff. They sort of stick to the period, whereas there's these other ones which is sort of like Reign, the CW's one, where it puts in like modern twists of like using modern music and stuff to try and make it all hip. And so they'd done that, and it was going to not work very well.
Yeah.
So it's not the worst bit of news.
I think in the poster, one of the main like handsome slave guys, he's wearing a hoodie. Like, I swear to God, he's wearing a hoodie. But
Is he on like when you're looking at it straight on? Is he the second one on the right?
second one on the right, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, he doesn't look like he's dressed right.
Yeah, I swear to God, he's wearing a hoodie.
They didn't really care about like historical accuracy in that show.
Consistency. Yeah.
So that's cancelled already. So that's one of the ones we don't really have to talk about. We'll talk about the others now in our segment.
Yes, in our discussion topic,
Well,
pilots, we're just going to generally chat about the new ones that have come out and the ones that are going to come out and what we're excited about.
Yep.
What we're looking forward to, what may disappoint us.
Yeah. There's quite a few as well. The problem is when they announce the next season of pilots, they also sort of announce the next year. Like some of them won't be coming out this year, some of them will be coming out early next year, but because we don't really know about the dates, we'll probably just talk about all of them.
Yep.
Do you guys have any specifics you want to talk about?
Well, recently I've watched a couple. I'll leave Delirium to you, but I watched that. The Leftovers was one I watched. The Leftovers or The Left Behind? No, The Leftovers. Basically, it's been dubbed the new Lost because it's been co-created by one of the co-creators of Lost, and the book doesn't answer the main question of the book. Basically, at a random time in October, I think October 24th or 14th or something like that, something with a 4, 1% of the population, Earth's population, disappeared without a trace at the same time, just out of nowhere, like they just disappeared. And in the book, why that happened does not get answered. So going into a show with no answer, they're going to have a lot of people maybe not committing to it. But what they want to do, what the creators want to do, is create a show where you're not so worried about why this happened, but what's happening now because of that. So it's based on a family. The head of the household is the police chief of this small town in New York, and it's just about how it's affected him and his family and the community 3 years after the event.
So 1% of the world's
I think it's
population.
1.2.
How many people would that be?
So that would be like hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah, if not millions. How many?
There's 6 billion people on the planet.
Yeah, so it'd be hundreds of thousands of people
Yeah.
just disappeared, and and people. There are groups within the world who think it was like the rapture, the biblical rapture, but like murderers got taken, so it couldn't have been holy
So
people.
just random people.
like a baby, like a couple months old baby got taken in the first segment of the show. That was the first.
Do you see how they get taken?
No. Like the camera went to the child's mother, and then when she looked back, the baby was gone.
That would freak me out.
It sounds very reminiscent of all of the shows that like Abrams and Spielberg are trying to get out.
Yeah, so it was made by someone who worked very closely with J.J. Abrams to create Lost.
They're just all a bit of the same, though.
No, but it's not about the premise. It's not about the disappearance. It's about the people.
Yeah, but
and
they are often like that. There's like the ones where there's...
Yeah, but there's some of those are really good shows.
They are, but they never seem to last very long because they all follow the same...
Or they do really well after they've aired. For like Lost did really...
Well, that did well the whole time. But I don't think it doesn't sound to me as much like Lost as it does sound like the ones that are out very, like recently. Spielberg and Abrams have both had shows nearly every season that they produced. And they're all being cancelled. I can't even name them because they just get cancelled so quickly.
Like Revolution.
Well, Revolution.
Fringe was one, right?
Fringe is still going, right?
Right.
There's ones like
Under the Dome's
recent
coming back.
ones.
Yeah, Under the Dome.
These are good ones though. I'm thinking of the ones that like don't do well.
I couldn't name them.
Resurrection.
Oh yeah,
That's one
Resurrection.
of them, right?
Yeah,
Did that get cancelled?
I think so.
Yeah, and then there's one about like a little girl who had powers.
Yeah.
And that's gone
What
as
was
well.
Touch as well? Touch was
Touch
the
is
one
gone
with
too.
Jack Bauer.
It's about a kid that could
Who
touch
had like
people and read
no,
minds
he
or
had
something.
like what's the Down syndrome? What's the autism?
Correct.
But he
Down
could
syndrome
like
is politically correct as well.
Yeah.
That's
They're
not
two
what it
different
was.
definitions.
One's a part of
Yes, it does.
autism. Yeah. So he had that, and then for some reason he could see the pattern of how people interact with each other. He could see the mathematical formula for fate or something. Yeah, didn't do very well.
None of those little like I'm particularly thinking of Resurrection because that's very similar except people came back.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it's a cool premise. It's about the people. It's not really about, the event.
The event, yeah.
But it's just the same thing.
Yeah, but it's
I
got
gotta
really
admit,
good.
after the third or fourth episode, I switched off because it was they came back and that's cool, but you never found out why. You never knew like anything about.
They try and drag it out,
and
it just
But no, like it's really well made.
Yeah.
The premise is interesting, and the actors are really good as well. Like there's some. I've only seen the one episode, but it's.
I think that's the kind of show that I would decide in one episode whether I was going to watch it or not.
Yeah, just give it a go. Like all we ask, with all of these that we're talking about, just give it a go.
You don't have to if you don't want
Wasn't there a show?
I'd encourage you to.
Okay.
Wasn't there a show or a movie where everyone on the planet passed out for a minute?
That was a show.
That was a show. Yeah.
Everyone just
probably by Spielberg as well.
Blackout. It was
Yeah,
Blackout.
Yeah, and that only
That
lasted
lasted 2 seasons.
Did it?
I swear it had
But 2 seasons is still like
It's not a long time.
you could have a small viewer base and still do 2. It even sounds a little bit like 4400. Like population. Something happens to some percent of the population, and then you deal with it. And it's like I've seen it before, but I will watch it. I'm gonna watch the first episode, no doubt, because I don't ever.
Oh, and there's a. You might have to do a bit of sneaky for this one, but there's like a episode 0, so where they do like a bit of a making of.
Okay.
And that's really interesting. Make sure you watch the pilot first and then the making of.
Yeah, cool.
A bit of spoilers, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So that's a good one. You should watch. Do we want to talk about the ones that we haven't seen yet, or the ones we have seen?
I'd still like to talk about Flash.
Yeah, I know. Flash and Constantine, and
Oh, Constantine. Yeah. Do we want to talk about that now?
Sure.
We can.
Sure.
Let's
Go
do
ahead.
it.
Do you want to talk about Delirium?
Well, that's not really relevant because it's not being made. But
what do you mean?
It was a pilot episode they made a year and a half ago. They're not actually making a series.
Really?
Yeah. So it was a.
Oh, I told Loveday to jump on it.
Oh crap!
See what
Okay, this is the story behind it, and you can check out my proper review. It's on geekbomb.net, but it's based on a young adult novel called Delirium, and this pilot was shot for Fox 2 years ago, or the early last year, like quite a while ago, and Fox didn't pick it up, and so it sort of just went away for a while, and then Hulu decided they were going to air, since it's already done, there's an episode, it's ready to go, they were going to air it. And they have, and it's available, and you can watch it on YouTube. Like, it's freely available for you to watch right now. It's also, that link is in my article. But they're probably not going to make.
Right.
Even if it does really well, they're probably not going to make
I
it.
think
because
it was a really good.
it is a great
episode.
show. It is
Yeah,
a great.
yeah.
I think it's a cool concept. And I think it was
The
made
premise
really well.
is
Basically, it's an alternate reality, dystopian world. So it's like current day, but in a world where there was bombings, and so the population is sort of compressed into certain areas of the world, and they're all fenced off. But the idea is that they now consider love to be a disease.
Yeah.
It's called the delirium, or the deliria, or something. There's a proper name.
Yeah, something nervosa.
Deliria nervosa, or something like that. Anyway, so they think that people in love do
irrational things. Yeah.
And so
they're passionate. Their passion makes them.
So I think even though it wasn't
things.
addressed in that episode, I think probably the book might address it as that's why the bombings happened. I think that's probably it ties in there. But it follows a young girl played by Emma Roberts, which is the reason why I was so keen to watch this for so long, because I think she's really good. And she is going to have a cure. They have a cure for the disease, mandatory cure when you're 18 that stops you from falling in love. So it's sort of just before her having her cure. And she falls in love. She meets a boy, and she falls in love with him. Or sort of. This is all within the first half of the episode, so we're not spoiling anything. And then it goes on from there. I haven't read the book. It makes me want to read the book. I think I probably will now.
That sounds really
I've had
really
it
good.
downloaded for a while, legally. I haven't read it yet. But it's also just sort of it's well cast. It's got good people in it. Some of it's such a cheesy concept, and it's so hard. For people to play that.
Love is illegal. It's very
like it wasn't super cheesy though. The premise can be considered cheesy.
So
but
is the love between a mother and a child illegal?
That's not
technically
they're cured of it, so they can't feel love towards
the parents
child.
should not feel love. Yeah. The children would be able to feel love to their parents until they're 18.
They have some kind of lobotomy or something, and they just
they get an injection behind their ear.
It's like a really long needle, so it's basically a lobotomy. So it's interesting, and I think there's a big story with her family and like people not being cured and people trying to stop the cure, and all of that. And
like
so
a resistance movement.
So that's obviously the majority of the book and what would be the show.
Yeah.
And there is hope that it might get picked up by Hulu. Hulu might decide to make it.
What's that movie book series that we've been asking Toby to read for ages?
Divergent.
A little bit.
It's kind of like that.
It does have similar.
Yeah.
They all have similar elements.
Being two things at the same time is illegal.
Yeah, actually, it is very similar. It's possibly why.
Divergent's great.
Yeah, but I like the format of TV better, particularly for this show. I feel like it wasn't cheesy because it was a TV show, because it was as an episode. Because when you read a book and you're hearing their thought, you're reading their thoughts. It's so introspective, and then you put a movie on a screen, and you've only got 2 hours to sort of tell this whole story that you've just read.
Or a couple hundred pages. Yeah. So with a TV show, you can take your time and be a bit more subtle and
Exactly. So in this one episode, we probably got through maybe like a quarter of the book. I don't know, but we got to see it from her perspective. I feel like we just understood her better. Because it was condensed into three episodes.
Makes me really sad that there's only one episode.
I know. Makes you almost not want to watch it because you're like, there's not anymore. They might make it. You support it. Tweet. There's a hashtag to tweet along with. And the author is really into like reading reviews and stuff. So.
Speaking of people who have been reading your tweets,
we're not going to talk about
that.
No,
come on.
Awkward
Let's talk about it now. She made a Twitter on Geek Bomb.
Made a Twitter.
She made a tweet.
It was on my own Twitter.
On her own Twitter to plug her article that she wrote on Geekbomb.
I hashtagged as delirium. I didn't hashtag it as. I didn't tweet it at anyone.
And in the article, she spoke about the young, handsome main actor,
the
love interest.
I objectified him
a little bit
in picture captions.
And he might have retweeted her.
Possibly read that
tweet. And read the article probably.
Yeah. Well, he might not have. He could have just retweeted it. That would be fine.
And then fallen in love with Tara. And he's currently on a plane heading here to propose to Tara.
Then
I
got like 20 little girl followers from it. And it's like hundreds of retweets after it. Like, damn it! Just leave it alone.
I'll take that. That's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, I feel a bit weird about objectifying him and then having read it, because
Hey, I thought he was fucking handsome. What are you talking about?
That's supposed to happen on the internet. Okay, I'm supposed to be able to speak my mind and then not have people read it.
That's what the internet's for.
That's the exact opposite of the internet.
That's kind of the joke.
So let's talk about another one that has come out but won't have any follow up for a little while. Flash. The pilot episode
really
leaked.
come out. It leaked.
So we won't
it.
see any more episodes until October. But that was really, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Tara has a bit of a mixed mind about it.
A bit. You can again read my full review at geekbomb.net, but I liked the show as a whole. I just think that the pilot was lacking, but they usually are because they're that first moment that you see the show.
Yeah, they don't have much of a budget, you know.
It was enough to make me want to watch the show, and I'm super keen for it. But I just think that the acting wasn't fantastic. I think possibly they hadn't really fallen into
they haven't built relationships yet.
Exactly.
You know, they don't feel comfortable around each other or in their characters.
The humor was just a bit too cheesy. I don't think it really floated well. Some of the one-liners, like there was like a one-liner with the evil guy, and he said something like super, super, super lame. I can't remember what.
Like I've been thinking too small. It's time to think big.
I feel like I wrote it down. I'm gonna.
Or like when he came out of the thing and he's wearing like a lycra bodysuit, and it's like, how does it fit? Oh, it's a bit snug. Like, come on.
Yeah, it was. It's bad. Oh no! He went, "I've got a plane to catch," as he was running
to the plane. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was bad.
That was
it was
cheesy.
bad enough that I wrote it down to use in my recap, which is.
But they tied in with Arrow, so they had a cameo from.
I was actually very confused by this because they do make reference to Barry going to Starling City.
So Starling City. Yeah.
What is his city called?
Central City. Yeah.
Starling City. So they make reference to him having gone there, but I thought that he went there a couple of times at different times, and I couldn't really figure out how the timeline
What do you mean?
worked. You know, because there was episodes of Arrow.
But that was
Barry
before he got
yes,
turned. Yeah.
But then there were episodes where Felicity was leaving to go and see him, and things like that.
That was when he was in his coma.
But I just don't think they pieced it together very well, and I don't think it's really relevant because you don't need to have seen the Arrow episodes.
And then in the Arrow, when she went to Star Labs to get help, wasn't that when he was in his coma still?
I don't know.
Like she made friends with them because they were studying him while he was in the coma. Yeah.
I don't really know. It's all a bit. I just don't think.
Yeah, it's a bit wishy-washy. It doesn't need to be exactly.
I would have liked to have seen it like happen simultaneously, like the two shows be running, and then you'd see.
Or like news articles about the Arrow season finale or something like
Possibly.
that. Possibly.
I'm sure that they will tie it in other ways, but it just I just couldn't wrap.
I thought he was still in a coma. It was 9 months he was in a coma.
Yeah, he would have been.
Yeah, so all through the second season of Arrow, he would have still been in a coma.
Should have made a little bit of mention to it when he saw the Arrow, and they didn't talk about it at all. They just sort of.
Well, that would technically be in season 3 of Arrow when they meet each other.
Yeah, they do. See, that's weird. It needs to be running at the same time. You need to see that happen to try and figure out how the timelines work. But it's fine. I mean, you still know what's happening. Except that when Barry was in Arrow, didn't he get injected?
With what?
With the serum or something. Didn't something happen to him while he was there? I could have sworn something weird happened.
Did it?
And I thought that was going to tie.
So he got the super soldier serum.
No, he kind of.
I don't think so.
I can't remember particularly, but I thought something happened to him in that series that was going to lead into his powers.
Right.
But it didn't.
It was just the lightning bolt.
Yeah. That's fine. Anyway, as an overall episode, super excited for the rest of the season. Just wasn't super excited by that first episode. I think that Grant Gustin is good though. I was pretty happy with him.
I like all the foreshadowing they did. They mentioned Gorilla Grodd and a couple other things, which I forget, but I was talking to you about it.
There was like a bit to the cage being ripped open.
Yeah, that was Grodd's cage, and just the fact that they're talking about the dimensional energies in the Flash continuity or in the Flash canon. When the Flash came into existence, he created a speed force throughout all time. So it's like I would like the idea of that kind of coming into it, but they made it very scientific that they used a
the
particle accelerator to create this kind of energy to open a dimensional barrier or something like that. And then they foreshadowed Anti-Flash as well, being the one who goes basically runs so fast he goes back in time and hurts his mum.
I just think of Anti-Flash as being really slow.
No, he's super fast, but he wears
really
instead of wearing red and yellow, he wears yellow and red. So it's like Yeah.
That's so
No,
scary.
it's like, yeah.
I'm sure they'll do it less cheesy.
No, in the thing, you see the
Oh,
yellow
okay.
face. Yeah. So it's just a yellow flash.
I thought that was all. See, that was another problem I had with it. I think there was just too much in one episode. I think that I would have liked to have seen Barry's origin story happen over a
Over a
period
couple of
episodes.
episodes, yeah.
Because I felt like it went from like nothing to powers to like having his suit and like
And
he was-
knowing how to control his powers.
and he was immediately friends with his little team. Like there was no
yeah, there
lead
was
into
no,
that.
yeah. But there's going to be, they foreshadowed that with like, why don't you ever smile, you know, so
Oh,
she's
yeah.
got emotional issues.
Obviously,
you
it's
know.
gonna continue. Actually, I made a big point, whether or not I put it in my review or not, that there's like an offhanded bit where she's like, oh yeah, my fiance died 9 months ago. You were part of the reason that my fiance is dead. And she's like, whatever. And then 2 minutes later, he's like crying over his mum dying years and years ago. I was just like, buddy, get your shit together. This chick, like,
She
she
just
should be
lost-
the superhero,
that's
okay?
right, yeah.
What are you talking about? You're crying and being all depressed about your mum.
I
Her
like
fiance
that,
died like 6 months ago.
the nerd best friend that's going to be his best friend.
Oh yeah.
He was wearing a
Bang
scissor,
Theory.
paper, rock,
Spock.
lizard Spock
Yeah.
shirt. So in that world, Big Bang Theory exists.
I have that mug.
Mm.
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think his friends are a bit cheesy. I think his friends are a bit.
Yeah, but you know, they have to be.
I just hope
Big
they're not
characters.
exactly the same as the other characters you see in other shows. I just want to see them a little bit different.
Give them a bit of depth.
They
Yeah.
just felt very much like Fitzsimmons.
Yeah.
Those two.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I really like Fitzsimmons.
So do I, but I really like Fitzsimmons. I didn't need to see
Them
New
again here.
Fitzsimmons.
Yeah.
because they're not as good as Fitzsimmons, but we'll see.
All right, let's move on to another DC show, Constantine.
Yes. Now, did
Um,
this leak or is it just out now? Because I can't figure it out. It doesn't air until October.
Oh, then it must have leaked as well.
I don't think it leaked. I think they put it out. I think they.
Maybe because they put Flash out, or Flash leaks, so they're like, why don't we just give them a little something?
I don't know. It could be a marketing thing that they released the pilot heaps earlier. I don't know.
Have you
But
seen
anyway,
it?
it's out.
Yeah, I watched
Episode
it
1.
this
I
morning.
haven't finished it. I'm only halfway through it because
That's
my
fine.
laptop
Then no
died.
spoilers.
But- I'm going to do a review of that too. Geekbomb.net.
I really loved the Constantine movie.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was gritty and satirical. It introduced the character quite well and how like effed up he is in the head.
He's been through some shit, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just
I don't
how
know if they really set that up enough though. He felt a bit too okay.
yeah, but in that first scene, he's like voluntarily getting shock treatment.
Yeah. I
But
think it's just his attitude, but I guess that is his attitude is to be
what
a
if
bit
they did the
nonchalant
whole
about it.
first episode in the asylum? Like that would have.
I think that would have been cool. I think they did rush out of that quite quickly because they were sort of trying to set it up. But again, it felt like so much happened in that one. I'm not even
In the
finished the
first half,
episode,
yeah.
but like set up so many relationships and so many like him meeting that girl who's obviously going to
Yeah.
be, which is it happens
His
very
partner,
early
yeah,
in
yeah.
the thing. But yeah, that felt like it maybe should have happened over a couple of episodes as well, or maybe like a few episodes in. I just
Yeah.
don't like how they shove it. They just expect you to take it. They're like, these two people are going to be in love later. Force fed.
I don't know, love.
Well, whatever.
Well,
But
because she's quite
as
young
an
compared to him, but
example
and
of
then in that again,
relationships.
they concentrate on foreshadowing. They're doing it really well, actually. I think with the foreshadowing, even if they don't even use it later, it was good to see Dr. Fate's helmet, and also they had Pandora's box, which is this golden skull with 3 eyes, 3 eye sockets even, and that's very new in the DC continuity, and that created a bit of a shitstorm in the comics. So I don't think they'll ever mention it again.
Well, the idea is that this series or this version of Constantine is at this point in the universe, right?
Yeah.
We're not going back and showing that.
No,
before.
no,
It's
yeah.
it's almost like a retelling because there are obviously things different about him to the previous.
Yeah, we were
Constantine.
talking earlier that this new Constantine doesn't smoke,
He's not smart.
whereas the comics and the movie did that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Because it was
changed
part
that.
of his.
His story.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
his story in this, I mean, they hint a lot about what happened to him to bring him to this point.
Yeah.
But it seems like it's a very I don't really know the old story either, but it seems like it's quite a different story to how it was before. Because he's obviously not dying of lung cancer.
No.
That's not.
No, but they've done a bit to give him some emotional depth as to why he's so, hell bent, pun intentional.
Did they establish a reason as to why he's doing what he's doing?
To
Yes.
get redemption. He wants redemption.
Pretty much. He does mention something towards the end,
I think maybe I saw that far because one of the
Sorry, I
things
wasn't paying
we
attention
talking
to
about. I don't know, but I'm going to go into a different point.
So, do you want to move on or?
I just have I think I have a tiny bit more to talk about
Okay.
about Constantine. We're still talking about Constantine. What was I? There was something that I didn't like about it. Oh, that chick, right? So,
Yeah.
so basically, in the first part of the episode, this giant gaping hole forms in the ground in front of her. She doesn't really seem to care that
No,
much.
yeah.
She,
And her neighbour dies.
She goes
And
home and
she's
she's
like,
just
my neighbour.
She doesn't even call the police about this gaping hole that swallows her car. It's just, it just happens. And I was very confused why she wasn't scared.
Yeah.
That really annoyed
Yeah.
me. They needed to put something in there to show that she wasn't perfectly
I would
okay
be
with demons.
freaking out if anything like that happened to me.
And obviously more stuff happens to her as the episode goes on that I probably haven't seen yet. But I'm just...
And yeah, she just kind of accepts it
doesn't
all.
care.
Yeah.
She was perfectly fine. That was weird. That was mine.
But I like they've done the supernatural tones well.
It's creepy. It's got jump scares.
Yeah.
It's got quite a good...
No, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's got quite a good score as well. So they've actually put some time. A lot of TV shows won't bother with making that creepy music score, but they've done that and it's quite good.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I think they've tried to set the tone, and I think it's okay. Yeah, it's funny and scary and creepy.
I'm probably not inclined to keep watching it, but just because it's not my kind of style thing as it is. But it was a good start.
I'll be watching that.
I will too.
Yeah.
All right, move on to
some
other pilots. Yeah,
there's tons. There are tons and tons.
Some
and
of the
tons.
ones that haven't come out, but we're looking forward to.
Most of them haven't because we're not even at pilot season yet. Pilot season doesn't start for a couple more months.
Yeah.
Well, this is like a little prequel.
Yeah, so
pilot season.
What we're gonna do, because I did this article quite a while ago, but I did a recap of all of the trailers that are out that are premiering either they are about
this
to.
year.
Some of
or
them have, some of them are, or some of them will early next year. So yeah, you can watch all of the trailers that we're going to talk about again at geekbomb.net. You might have to scroll back a bit, try and find it. Maybe I'll put it on Facebook, facebook.com/geekmythologypc. I will plug the article. But there are quite a few actually that I was really excited about. We talked briefly, I think you and me did, about the one that's basically How I Met Your Mother, but so it's called A to Z.
The trailer was alright for that. It looked really funny.
So it's a rom-com. It's starring the mother from How I Met Your Mother, whose name is
I forget.
Kristen something or other. But she plays a character named Zelda, so I'm sold.
Yeah.
I'm sold.
That's I would watch anything Zelda.
But it's just sort of got the same comedy elements, and it's a budding relationship between.
The guy who's named something starting with A. So it's A to Z,
Adam or something,
Oh.
Yeah.
That didn't even register. Because it's
But-
the A to Z of their relationship. That's
but it looks quite funny
It's
and
cute.
quirky
Yeah.
and cutesy.
It's going to be How I Met Your Mother, except not 8 seasons in. So that's good. And that one is premiering fall, which is not fall here. What is the opposite of fall?
Spring, yeah.
Which starts when?
September.
Okay, so September Thursdays on NBC is that one. Also, Constantine, just to recap, is coming out Fridays in spring on NBC. Gotham is going to hit us in spring as well. Mondays on Fox, which people are talking about the trailer already. The pilot. There are some reviews up of that, but not for us because we haven't seen it unless it's leaked and we haven't realised.
We can check it out. Yeah.
Should probably check that. But Gotham, obviously, if you don't know, is from the Batman universe, but it's following Commissioner Gordon. And it's
at
his
a young
sort of origin
age.
story.
Yeah.
And
so Bruce Wayne is still a young boy.
But he's involved. He's sort of.
Yeah, the pilot episode's going to be about Gordon investigating the Wayne's deaths.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that'll tie into a lot of the series. He'll be trying to solve that murder.
Yeah.
But it's quite good. There is a trailer. Obviously, there's trailers of all of these, but that is available to watch. It stars Ben McKenzie as who you will know from the OC.
The OC,
if you're
yeah.
like me, and you watch shows like that.
Hey man, what are you talking about?
That was a pretty
we all
big
watched the OC.
I was
That's
late to
pretty
the
good.
OC though. I watched it a couple of years ago.
It was right until that
I
all
rewatched
summer,
it
man.
recently.
What was the other one?
Seth, okay.
Seth, man, Seth was
Seth.
my boy
Everyone
because I
loves
related
Seth.
so much to him.
What was the other one that was really huge when we were in
Gossip Girl?
school? No, it was kind of like the OC, but it had a blonde girl and she had blonde curly hair.
Blonde curly hair.
Hold on.
Wait,
Oh.
what did she do? What is it? Just a teen show?
She was an artist. She was drawing. It was kind of like the OC, except not.
There's an artist with a blonde, wavy hair girl.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I feel like I probably watched it.
Yeah, you would have. I'll look it up.
Next up is one that it's a remake of a British show. It's called Grace Point. Or not, maybe not. Yeah, it is. It's a remake of Broadchurch, which is a British TV show. But it's starring David Tennant.
Right.
So for Doctor
You're gonna
Who
watch
fans,
that, yeah.
Of course I'm gonna watch it.
Yep.
But he has an American accent, which is weird because it seems to be like a majority. Oh no, maybe he doesn't have a British accent. No, he does have a British accent. I wrote it in my notes. But it seems like it's sort of supposed to be almost set it's set at Grace Point. I don't know where that is. Californian seaside town, I've said in my notes. Anyway, it's about a murder investigation about a young boy being found dead, and then David Tennant is the detective. And
Right.
his detective partner.
I like detective.
Yes, and I think that it's quite a popular show in Britain, or it was. It's only a mini-series, it's only 10 episodes total.
Yep.
So that one is out spring Thursdays on Fox, and I will be watching it.
Oh, apparently I haven't heard much, but I've heard that Martin Freeman hinted at a Sherlock Christmas episode.
Oh, they could be.
Yeah.
Could very well be. That would be cool.
So that should have been
They've
in our
already filmed
news
the
earlier.
season. They've already filmed
The
2
fourth
seasons,
seasons?
right?
And
Filmed
fifth,
2. I
really?
think they filmed them simultaneously.
Right.
But I could be wrong. But I'm keen for that too. It's not coming out for a while.
Yeah.
One Tree Hill.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Because you went with the girl and she's not the main character, that's why. If you
It was
said
just what
there
I
was a boy
remembered.
and he played basketball, I would have been right on that.
Oh yeah, I played
Friday
basketball.
Night Lights! No, that's football.
I never watched that. That's one that I have not
Wait,
ever
where's my
watched.
drink?
Okay, next up. This one, they say that it's coming out this year, but there is no date as of yet. It's called Forever. It's on ABC, American ABC, not Australian ABC. And it is about a guy who is unable to die. So he's a morgue attendant, and he's trying to figure out why he's immortal, but he can't quite figure out what's happening.
So he needs
has
to
he
solve-
tried to commit suicide? Or
Yeah,
is
he's died a lot, but I think he wakes up in the ocean or something, and then he sort of. It's starring Ewan Grufford, who I'm a huge fan of.
Where's he from?
He was in Fantastic Four, which was he was Mr. Stretchy.
Right.
But,
Mr. Fantastic.
whatever, he was stretchy. Anyway. He was also in Hornblower, which is what I know him from, and he was really good in that. Looks like a kind of cool show. It's
So does he have to solve crimes?
Yeah,
Like
he will
why
be.
for the people coming into the morgue, you'd be like, this is strange. I wonder why this is. Work
Exactly.
closely with the detective. Something's not right here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's a
Because
detective-
he's died in every single way possible, so he knows that things are wrong with
Yeah.
dead people. Yeah.
And he's been
I'd watch
he's
that.
been alive for like 200 years or something. So he's
Cool.
sort of
Wow.
Sherlocky. It's Sherlocky
Yeah.
and Castle-y. So he's got his detective love interest friend.
Oh right. Yeah. Yeah.
And it kind of looks really. I'm actually really keen to see it. So there's a trailer of that as well.
Yeah.
And
I'd watch that.
hopefully it will. It's not just going to be a pilot. I'm really hoping that it will be picked up.
People
Yeah.
that live forever, it always confuses me. Like, okay, so say for instance you were born in the 30s, so you'd
Yeah.
be technically like 80 something now, right?
Technically, yeah.
But if I look how I look,
Yeah.
how would I get a new like
You'd have
passport
to
or
just
driver's
build
license?
an
You'd have to hide. Yeah. You'd
like
have
get
to
people
hide
to
hinky
buy
people.
me like
Yeah.
So
birth
they
certificates and
they briefly talk about this in Twilight, which is that they have like
that
a
guy.
bunch of different lawyers and they just pay them a lot of money because by that time you're really rich, so you just
Yeah,
buy a
because
new
you've made so
passport.
many investments and like invested in Apple and shit.
Yeah, so or you just rob people and suck their blood, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Floats
Well,
boat.
not everyone are vampires. Not all immortals are vampires.
But
Yeah.
and again in Only Lovers Left Alive, they sort of briefly hint at the fact that they just buy new identities basically. But you'd figure it out. You'd figure a way out.
You'd have to
do
keep
it.
moving all the time.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, in Only Lovers Left Alive, he lives in an abandoned house, right?
Yeah. But
Unless you were like in your 30s, because when
you
you're
can pass for
30,
younger.
you can pass for like between 20
AKA.
something
Yeah,
and
yeah.
30 something.
Edward from Twilight.
Yeah.
30, passing for 17.
Yeah.
Doesn't pass for 17, but you know.
No, he looks like 25.
I know, it's really weird. I feel that way about a lot of teen shows.
Yeah, because they're always like in their 20s and stuff.
Yeah, all
I'm watching 90210 right now, and I thought that they were supposed to be like 25, and then they're like, we're in high school, we're 16, and I'm like, what? No, you're not. Are you fucking joking?
That's like the One Tree Hill though, because they're in high school and they're clearly not high school age. So
It's just the fact that you're like high school, okay? It could be like 20, still in high school, something like that. No, 16.
I think when you're younger and you look at, like, I remember when I was in year 7 and I just started high school, looking at the year 12s, they looked like 30.
Yeah.
Like, because I was 12.
And when I was
Yeah.
watching those shows when I was younger,
Yeah, they
it was
looked
more
like
reasonable. But now
older.
that I'm that age, the age of, or even
Yeah.
older
So,
than some of the people playing
if
these
it's-
teenagers. I'm like, no.
If it's aimed at younger teens,
Yeah.
then they'll just accept it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's true. Okay, next up, I'm not going to talk about this very much because it's actually already out. It's on AMC and it's called *Halt and Catch Fire*, which is like it's set in the 1980s and it's about computer software like IBM taking over, like one of those intense dramas. But I think it's AMC.
So like
it's
a Mad Men, but with computer, like Silicon Valley.
Yeah, so it would be Silicon Valley.
The computer race. Yeah.
Basically, and it's just got some really good actors and stuff in it. So that one's already out. It started on June 1st. I think there's quite a few episodes even. So if you're into that sort of stuff, if you're into the AMC shows, Walking Dead, things like that, check that one out. Next up, back to Karen Gillan, because earlier I mentioned that her having a really bad American accent.
Yeah.
So there's this new show, right? And it's loosely based on My Fair Lady, which is a musical. It's called Selfie.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, another topical word there.
Exactly. Yeah. So what it is Karen Gillan is the main character, and she's a woman who's obsessed about becoming famous through social media. So she's like dying to be
a YouTube success or a
but like lamer than that.
Right,
like
right.
I'm a fashionista type,
Right.
really over the top. And so she hires a marketing guru to help try and market her, and then like it has the uplifting message of like you need real friends more than you need fake friends, and like people who actually matter to you will be in your life, and then she's gonna fall in love with this dude and whatever. But it's like the accent that she has in it, she has that New York really uptight posh accent and does it so badly, but like in such a brilliant way that I'm gonna watch this to death because it's gonna be so shitty. It's just like the lamest, cheesiest concept, and I'm so excited to watch it. I don't know when that's coming out though. I think it's either this year or early next year on ABC.
So if you like the sound of that, that's stellar.
You should I'll play the start of this trailer. I don't know if it'll pick the sound up, but it's quite possibly the worst.
Oh my god. I used to be butt ugly.
It's terrible.
Sounds like she has kind of a European accent.
She's British.
No, but I mean like...
Yeah.
Oh.
So...
Oh, that looks so bad.
I know. It's got hashtags in it.
Like on the screen, there's hashtags.
I'm so keen. It's gonna be so shitty. I
What
don't
is
know
that?
why she agreed
Hashtag
to do this.
douchebag hashtag.
Like,
like, whoa.
I don't know if that's gonna be in the episode, but I just feel like it's not gonna last more than a few episodes because no one in their right mind will continue to pay for that. But I do love Karen Gillan in anything. She's great. She's just.
Do you know who has a bad American accent, but I don't mind listening to? Rebel Wilson. Her American accent is.
I didn't like her show though.
Pretty terrible.
So.
No, I like her like when she's being normal, but when what was that one called where she was? She just go party all the time.
She has a show. I can't like
It got
it's like
cancelled.
something night party.
Party night or
something like
that was really
I
bad.
really didn't like it at all.
That was awful. And she's in another Australian movie where she. I can't remember. Anyway, her American accent's bad, but I still love you, Rebel, because you're cool.
Let's just quickly go through these because I can't really be bothered doing them in depth. These are all ones that I want to see, by the way. We haven't even gotten to the stuff that I don't want to see. A show on Fox for early 2015 called Backstorm, and it's starring Rainn Wilson, who is a comedian. He's quite funny. But it's about him being a detective.
Might know him from The Office. He played Dwight from The Office.
Exactly. So it's about him being like an underachieving police detective,
Cool.
being an idiot and solving crimes. So it's about. And it's also
But
based
does
on
he
a
think
book.
he's like the best?
No, he knows he's an idiot.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Talking about The Office, can I just quickly say, who was the warehouse manager? Was it Daryl?
Daryl, yeah. He
Daryl.
has his own show now.
Do you know what I saw him in last night when I was at 2 a.m. in the morning watching TV?
What did you see him in?
He was in cowboy boots, a plaid shirt, jeans, walking in a cartoon farm, and he had an iPad, and he was like, I wish I had some eggs, and he goes like this, and this cartoon chicken like shits out a whole bunch of eggs, and then he's like, I wish I had some bacon, and then a pig gives him a slice of bacon, and he's like, wow, a pig just gave me bacon, and it's for fucking Farmville. He's doing an ad for Farmville.
It's the worst ad I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It was so bad, and I was like, "Hey, it's Daryl from Office," and he walked in as like a cowboy and was like getting bacon and eggs and was playing Farmville on his.
He's supposed to be getting his own like chat show
I don't know if it
soon,
was
like a Jimmy Fallon type esque show.
I don't know if they're just trying to make fun of themselves or something, but
Mm.
for him to even be doing a Farmville
Yeah.
ad, I thought it was
Maybe
very
he's just
strange.
trying to get his face out there.
Yeah,
I don't think he would have been like super happy about doing it, but
it
you
was
do
bad.
what you gotta
I'll show
do.
you after. It
Alright.
was. Go look it up. It's pretty bad.
Cool. Next
yeah,
up.
what was that like? The backslash?
It's called Backstorm.
Backstorm.
Based on a Swedish book series.
Gonna watch it.
Yeah, it sounds like it's good, but that's Fox early 2015. There's one called Empire, Fox early 2015. I'm not gonna talk about. It looks alright. There's one called American Crime, again early 2015. It's written by John Ridley, who wrote 12 Years a Slave. So it's obviously going to be well written, but it's about like a racially charged murder and the trial behind it.
Right.
Yeah, that was
Cool.
good. Here's some that I don't think are going to do well.
Yay.
Yeah, these ones are. But I put Selfie in the early ones because I don't think it'll do well. But I
But
really
you want to watch it, yeah.
So here's one that's going to be shit. It's called Bad Judge. It's starting spring NBC 2014.
Is it supposed to be like a show like Judge Judy?
No. It's a
Alright.
drama. It's a drama
No,
starring.
I mean, but like about a character like
Oh
Judge.
yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So it's Kate Walsh, who is private practice Grey's Anatomy.
Mhm.
She's just like a hard ass judge. You're right. So she's
Yeah.
just been. But it's like, how would this shitty judge still have a job?
Mm.
Okay, they don't let people become just anyone.
So
Become
she
judges.
is a bad judge.
She's a-
She's not like
No,
a
she's a
badass
badass judge.
Right.
But she's also like she drinks a lot. She's a single person
Right,
who like
right.
drinks a lot and swears and stuff like that. And you're like, it's probably you're not a judge.
Yeah.
You're not going to be
You
made a
get-
judge. But it looks like again every other show about a single 30-year-old
Woman who's power.
who's got power. Yeah, basically. It's not going to do well. Next up, that's not going to do well, is a show called Marry Me, NBC, fall 2014, spring, 2015.
NBC, they hit and miss, aren't they?
Yeah, but they got so many that of course some of them are going to
Yeah.
fail. This is a sitcom about an engaged couple, and it's just like a slapstick comedy. There's not a lot of, it's the guy from
He's been in a bunch of stuff like character acting stuff.
Veronica Mars is where I know
Yeah,
him
he's
from. The detective,
the shitty.
the shitty
Private detective.
Vaughn, Vince?
I can't remember.
Doesn't matter. But it's just crude jokes and crappy humor, and it's again there's no context. I can't really
So
figure
like-
out what the show's
Like
about.
Seth Rogen type humor.
No. It's more obvious,
Oh.
not funny like Seth Rogen,
Right,
more
right.
like crappy sitcom, like
Right.
crappy sitcom.
Raising Hope. Raising Hope
Worse than
humor.
Raising
I
Hope.
think
Oh my
it
God.
had a huge following though.
Really?
Yeah, because that's a
Yeah.
good, people love that show.
People
Right.
love
It's not
it.
gonna do
Isn't
well.
it in like
There's no
season
story.
9 or something now?
Yeah, Raising Hope's
that's
still going.
huge.
Yeah.
But that has no. I can't figure out where it's going to go or what the point is.
We're on 2
Here's another
minutes.
one that I am not sure about, and I think he probably has a following that will help him. But it's a show called Last Man on Earth, by Fox, and it's by the comedian Will Forte.
Will Forte? Yeah,
Forte.
I'd watch that. Just for Will Forte.
It's a single cam comedy about him being the last man on Earth.
Right.
So it's just him.
Cool.
So
They-
there's no one else on the planet.
It's just him.
I'm gonna watch that.
But how do you sustain a show that's just about him being the only dude on Earth?
Well, I guess it would be him understanding, like talking about how he's living day to day.
Yeah, but that
himself.
could be one episode.
No, and then like
Sure.
what he does every day. What does he do? Does he
I
go
just
to
think-
people's homes and like steal their shit and
It's
like?
just there's not enough
I
unless
really
they
wanna
do.
watch
You don't have
it.
content unless you find someone.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I assume that there will be other
He
people.
won't actually be the last man on it.
But
Yeah.
the showrunners are trying to say that he will be at the moment.
I
So
think I will watch that.
it's sort of it could go. That's one that could sort of go either way. I don't really think I even like the comedy elements of it. Just from what I watched in the trailer. It just
I like
seemed a
Will
bit-
Forte. He used to be on SNL, and he's done it. He was in a Academy nominated movie this year, this year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would
It
back
could be.
him.
It could be great. I just feel like from what you saw in the trailer, it almost felt like the first 2 minutes of the opening to a movie that then would later go on to be about actual people.
Mhm.
Like it just felt very empty.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see how they deal with that. I'm not going to go through all of the other ones that are going to do badly, because they're just there's tons of them. But you can check out the full list of trailers on this article. Here's one that's quite interesting, and I was quite amused. Stop looking at my screen, it's a surprise!
But it's exciting.
Stop looking at my screen,
It's
a
only a
surprise.
still shot of the trailer, so
Okay,
we can't
you
really
read
see
it?
anything.
Can't read it from
No,
there?
I can't
okay,
read
so
anything.
it's called Gallivant. It's an ABC...
Gallivant?
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 Like,
Gallivante.
British? I was thinking-
Gallivante!
I think it's fake British, so I was
Right.
thinking it would be Gallivant, but whatever.
Mhm.
It is it's about a prince he's on a quest for revenge against the king that stole his true love. It's a comedy. It's also a musical.
Oh, a musical comedy TV show.
About
a prince.
That's gonna be
back.
so terrible.
Yeah, I know. It's actually it's like Glee meets Game of Thrones.
Oh.
Except they're singing about scenarios that are happening. Yeah,
Oh, no.
looks really bad. Looks really bad. Let's skip to the next ones that are bad. Those are all shit. Here's another one that's really bad. I think it's going to do super, super badly. It's CW, making their first appearance on my list, with a show called Jane the Virgin.
Jane the Virgin.
Yeah, it's about...
What is she? What does she do?
I wonder.
Not have sex.
It's about a young girl who is accidentally artificially inseminated, but still a virgin.
So she's like Mary.
But
So it's gonna be
artificially
like,
inseminated.
oh my
Yeah.
god.
How do you accidentally get artificially inseminated?
Oh.
I think it happens in the trailer. I can't remember how it happens. But it's funny. It's
Yeah.
funny that that's a thing, that they're trying to make a show. It's like, CW's like, what haven't we done?
Yeah.
Vampires.
Let's do a modern
Werewolves.
retelling of the story of Mary and Joseph.
She is very, the main character is super religious too, so obviously
Right.
that's gonna be...
Yeah,
So
yeah.
is she gonna have like people rallying behind her saying that she's the new
Yeah,
like?
the
I
new
have no
Mary.
idea.
Yeah,
But I
this is
think
the
that
second
the-
coming of Jesus
I
Christ.
think they're gonna upset so many people, like religious
Oh,
people are gonna be
yeah.
upset, and then normal people are gonna be upset. 'Cause
Yeah.
They're like, what are you doing? If they try and make it religious,
Yeah.
like, we're gonna be like, no, don't do that. And the religious people are gonna be like, no, don't do that to our religion.
Don't do that. Yeah.
So anyway, that's the
All right,
that's the
we'll
thing.
move on now. And just while we're on the topic of people getting upset, have you guys heard this thing about Seth Rogen and James Franco's new comedy, The Interview? The premise of the movie is Seth Rogen's like a shitty reporter, interviewer, and James Franco's his producer, and they get a chance to interview Kim Jong-un, the leader of North Korea, and the CIA wrangle him into an assassination plot against Kim Jong-un. And like they're actually making it about the leader of North Korea. It's not like some guy who just has a passport in the Netherlands and a different name. It's the guy.
And he's really angry.
And North Korea is seriously like threatening nuclear war over this movie. Like, because
Well,
Kim
that would be
Jong-un
like
doesn't...
if freaking Afghanistan decided to make a full huge movie about killing the
president
Barack
of the United
Obama.
States, yeah.
Yeah.
But like it's a Seth Rogen,
Yeah, but it's
James
still not
Franco
appropriate.
stoner
They
comedy.
could at least have changed his name.
His
to,
name,
like,
yeah, I
Kun
would
In
think
Kum or
that,
Do
something.
it
yes.
like Team America style.
But actually, I watched the trailer and it looked really funny. Like,
They're gonna never be able to go to Korea.
no,
Not that
ever.
you really want to go
Not
to North Korea. or anything.
Yeah.
I don't think you're allowed.
But it just looks like they kind of, I don't know. It's just like like it hasn't been just James Franco and Seth Rogen for a while, and it is just them. So I think they're kind of going back to their roots and stuff and having fun with that.
That sounds really funny.
But it's been
I
quite
think,
controversial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody
in the Western world is taking it seriously, but North Korea is taking it
Well,
very
yeah.
seriously.
They're not taking it seriously. They're just taking offense to it.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough.
Mm.
I don't think they're like, oh, he's actually want to murder us. I
No,
think that they're like,
and obviously they're going to make Kim Jong-un look to be, ridiculous and
yeah. But
he is ridiculous.
yes, but
Yeah.
I still see like
nobody likes being
I'm
told they're
offended, but
ridiculous.
I find that offensive.
Hmm.
I think most people will look at that and go, "That's offensive."
Hmm.
So you probably shouldn't be doing it.
So it will get out there. It's going to come out some way or the other.
It'll come out properly. They're not going
but
to hide it.
yeah, North Korea is rallying to get the states to ban it from cinemas.
Well, could you imagine like if someone did something about the Queen,
Yeah.
like assassination of the Queen?
Yeah, it's
like,
not an
it's a
appropriate
huge
topic.
deal.
I don't even know how they
I'd be
thought
upset.
that was going to be okay.
Anyway, we'll move on to movie premieres that have come out, or movies that have come out recently. So would you like to talk about anything in particular?
I don't have any.
I don't have any. It's
watched
just
some
you.
VOD.
It's just me. Okay. So
Wait, how many have we got? Just so I know.
I've just got the 2.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll start with 22 Jump Street. I liked the first one. I thought it was quite funny.
It was really funny. It was a really good movie.
I really liked
was incredibly surprised by it.
See, I wasn't necessarily blown away by it, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. It was entertaining. I liked the 2 guys. They had good chemistry, and I went into this with not really any expectations. Just thinking I'd watch it and I'd enjoy it maybe as much as the first one. It blew me away.
Great.
Like, it was so funny. Like, just the fact that they just made fun of themselves for doing a 22, like, I can't even put it into words. I'm not being very articulate, but just bear with me. Just, they knew going in that they were making a stupid sequel to a stupid movie that they're going to have to make. It's basically the same movie, just bigger, which is every sequel ever. Like Taken and Taken 2. It's the same movie, just in a different location with a bigger budget, more explosions. That's basically what these guys did, but made fun of themselves for doing it.
But that almost feels like it's a cheap way for them to get away with it.
No, but they did it so well, and it was so
the writing,
funny.
Like it was written to be that comedy, which is fine, but like.
But it wasn't all about that. Like, it wasn't that every single joke wasn't.
Yeah.
We've just done this, we're doing this again.
That's
but it did come in and out of it.
Yeah.
And then there was this whole romantic subplot between Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum, and that was so funny. Just the cheesiness between the 2 of them,
Who's the
and just
roommate
being like,
in the trailer?
oh, the roommate, yeah, she's from Workaholics.
Oh, she's great.
She's so funny in this. She actually stole a couple scenes. The scene she was in, she just ripped into Jonah Hill, and it was so funny.
Yeah. In the trailer, I was like, oh my god, I want to see her.
There's this scene at the end, no spoilers, but seriously, this scene at the end between the final confrontation between Jonah Hill and her
It's great.
is so funny. It's so funny. And Ice-T is so funny in it. Ice Cube, not Ice-T. He's in Law and Order. Ice Cube is really funny in it. I highly recommend it.
Okay.
For anyone who liked the first one, you'll love this one. And at the end, they did this whole bit during the end credits where it was like, at the end of the first one, they were like, you guys are going to college. And at the end of this one, it's like, you guys are going to medical school. And then they cut to like a poster of the medical school for 23 Jump Street. And they're like, you guys are going to culinary school. And it was like a poster for culinary school for 24. And then it just kept going with all these different schools, like dance academy. And Jonah Hill was like, finally, something I'm brilliant at. And he's like a ballerina. It's so funny. And like...
so is that it? Are they done with the...
I don't think they're going to make another one, even though this one is relatively successful.
Yeah. They'll probably let it die.
But if they care about the franchise, they won't do any more.
Yeah.
If the producers just care about money, then they will.
They're probably going to revamp it again as a TV show again, I reckon.
That would be like this kind of TV show, or like the original, which is more dramatic.
It's this one, except
it won't be Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum.
No, it'll be new.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with watching that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I really worried that like the idea of the original one. I just never watched it.
Yeah.
Like.
So yeah, it was really good, really funny, really good ensemble cast, like with the roommate and stuff. And yeah, it was just really funny.
So, what was your second movie?
Transformers 4. Transformers Age of Extinction.
I haven't heard good things.
Unfortunately, it should have been extinct a couple movies ago. It was shit. Like, alright, in terms of a Transformers movie, they had some really good Transformers, really cool cars, really good, battle scenes, some really funny banter between Mark Wahlberg and the other couple people in the ensemble cast. I really liked that. I didn't want Shia LaBeouf to come back. I'm glad he didn't. I thought Mark Wahlberg brought some fresh blood into the series, but just the writing was so terrible. Like, it was just like, we have to get to the thing, or, you know, save the humans, or, or...
You spoke a lot about the slow motion.
I did. Oh my god, the slow motion was so... There was so much slow motion when there wasn't necessary. Like, Mark Wahlberg, lost his daughter, and he was like... "Ah!" It was like, come on, I don't want to have to slow motion watch him in... and there were so many shots of American flags flapping in the wind, and yeah, it was just...
America.
Yeah, it was basically it's the biggest movie, American blockbuster of the year. Like, it's gonna make $1 million, and they're gonna make 2 more. And I swear to God,
Michael Bay needs to just get his shit together.
I swear to God, they're gonna make so many more until it just dies in the arms.
He must hate making them. Like, it must be the worst thing to do to have to make these.
No, it's just ching 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 ching.
Yeah,
It was basically one big ad for a bunch of different products, and they just throw it in your face. Like, they crash a spaceship into a truck, and it spills out with Bud Light bottles all over the street, and they're like bright blue, and he like takes a sip from one and slams it on the ground,
God.
and it's just so. As a Transformers fan, I liked the Dinobots. I liked seeing them fight. I liked seeing them turn into cars and stuff. But as a filmmaking fan, as a film buff and a filmmaking student, I just thought it was just the stupidest made, stupidest written. Like, they just phoned it in. They really just phoned it in. And also, when Mark Wahlberg is falling from a building from many, many stories up, and the only way he can get saved is by Bumblebee swinging at him from a cable and catching him, he's still getting hit by the force of a car. Like a giant metal robot. He's catching him. He'd just get hurt. He'd vaporize.
There's no scientific...
No. In terms of physics, it's just...
giant fighting robots. They turn...
Optimus.
From giant fighting robots into little cars. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Giant fighting alien robots.
And dinosaurs.
Like the three people, Mark Wahlberg, his daughter in the film, and then his daughter's boyfriend, are in Optimus Prime. He transforms while they're inside of him. They get thrown. Bumblebee catches them and transforms into a car and keeps going. Like, what? Anyway.
I don't really like the concept of Transformers to begin with, but that's just getting ridiculous.
That's fine, yeah. But there were some really cool things. John Goodman played one of the Transformers, and he had this like army type grenade belt all over him, and I really like his little thing. And also Stanley Tucci, who played this like what's the Apple guy? Steve Jobs-esque. Like he was the head of this technology company who was basically making human-made Transformers. And he was like on the forefront of technology, and he was really douchey and like, talking about the ambience of sound and color and but then when shit started going down, he just went into this like, oh my god, what's happening? Why is that happening? Oh my god, how am I not shot? Where? And it was just the funniest. Like, that's how a normal person would react to giant fighting robots shooting at him, and like,
no one's calm, cool, and collected.
No, exactly. And he's like hiding under a table, and he's like, shoot that guy, Mark Wahlberg, shoot that guy. He's like, do you want to take the gun? I'll give you the gun. No, you're better with the gun. Don't give it to me. You're fine with the gun. Like, yeah, he was just this like cowardly, selfish character, but he did it so well. And there were a couple of scenes where he was in with these female characters, and he pretended like they were so in love with him, and like he but they didn't even matter. They were just characters that didn't need to be in there, and that but Stanley Tucci was my favorite actor in that movie, and I did like the Dinobots, but overall it was just really, really dumb. And if you'd like a more articulate review of that, jump on to geek-mythology.net. I'll put up a review Yeah. So that was my 2 judgments of those.
Good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good job.
So 22 Jump Street, pay a lot of money for it. Transformers 4.
Please don't go and see
Don't worry
Transformers.
about it.
Every time you give them money,
That's
time
right.
you give Michael Bay money, he does something shit with it.
Yeah,
Legally
and a fairy
download it in a
dies.
couple of months.
Yeah, please illegally download it. That's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
For once, I fully support that.
Yeah, just wait for a good cam version or a DVD version.
Just watch a shitty cam version. It's not gonna make
Yeah,
any
yeah.
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
You'll get
really
the
won't. It
gist.
might even be better.
It'll probably the explosions are gonna just still look like explosions.
Yeah. Oh, and they recast the entire Autobots. Like they didn't have any of the old Autobots except Bumblebee and Optimus Prime, and they don't really introduce you to the new guys. Like they show them, and they're all like, an army guy, a British like football thug, and a samurai who's actually really cool. I really like the samurai guy. But they were just like stereotype characters with no depth, and
No, that sucks.
yeah.
Why don't they have a lady transformer?
Well, there are a couple in the shows, in the cartoons, that are like motorbikes, and because they're all curvy and I don't know. But yeah, not in these.
Imagine
It's
if it was
quite
like a
a
semi
small
show.
object to transform into a giant fighting robot.
Yeah, but that would be smaller than
But,
a normal
how
transformer.
does this amount of metal turn into anything other than
Oh,
this tall?
they
It
do kind of
gets
talk about it
dirt.
that it can reform and get smaller. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Science.
Science, bitch.
And then there was this character in the beginning, like Mark Wahlberg's funny buddy. Like I think he was like an uncle to his daughter, but like, no, it wasn't Ted. But it was like a character who was like a bit of a buffoon, and they had some really good banter, and then he died, and nobody mourned him.
Was any of that in
He
slow
wasn't
motion?
mentioned. Yeah, a lot of it was in slow motion. He died running through flames in slow motion. Yeah, it was just so dumb.
Okay, that's your judgment.
That is my judgment. Sorry.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, so
That's everything.
that's everything for this episode.
No, we've got the
I
drop.
think.
Are we talking about the drop?
Oh, the things we're excited for.
Yeah,
Oh,
that are coming up.
Well, we sort of
We
did
did
talk about
that.
the trailers and stuff.
Mm.
Oh, in terms of
what we're
movies, you
watching
mean?
and
Oh, just anything that we're looking forward to doing this week. I'm looking to start playing Dead Island Riptide with you for our Let's Plays.
yeah,
So that'll be coming up soon.
yeah. I don't know, movies wise, TV wise.
Nothing's really.
I'm gonna watch some Doctor Who and see how that goes.
Yeah, have a crack at that. Have
Yeah.
a crack at re-watching from season 1. It's quite a while. It's quite a while to go. You could theoretically skip the first guy, but he sort of ties into the second guy.
Oh, I didn't talk about Legend of Korra.
That's okay. We'll leave it for next week. Is
Next
it still
week's
running?
time.
Yeah, it'll
It's still
still be
relevant.
running, yeah.
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 Okay, cool.
Thanks for
But
watching.
jump onto those if you haven't already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you want to check out any reviews or things that we have written, I don't think we've really written much.
It's
you can
fine.
go to Geek
Geek-mythology
.net.
.net or our Facebook page / Geek Mythology PC, our Twitter,
Geek Mythology
PC.
Yeah.
I'd also jump onto Geek Bomb.
Yeah, if you want any of the things that I was
.net.
.net. If you want, I've got a Delirium review, I've got a Flash review, all those trailers, and I will have a Constantine one up. Geekbomb.net.
Yeah,
Find
click
me as
like,
an author.
subscribe.
Yeah, comment, like, subscribe, and we'll be here next week. Hopefully.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll
Well,
try.
no,
We'll try really, really,
we'll be
really
here.
hard.
We'll be around.
We'll be a bit shit.
Yeah, you'll see us. You'll
We
see
got
us
a lot of
later.
YouTube and shit to play.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Can we have one of those things where we look like we're still talking even though it's fading off in the distance?
Yeah, we
When-
can do that.
Okay.
Oh, we didn't
Okay,
plug our
goodbye.
own stuff, but it's fine. They know us.
It's
It's down the bottom.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we don't actually talk. So we need.
I was gonna just take the sound away, but then I tried to fake talk and it didn't work.
All right, cool. Well, thank you. Bye. It's fun.
We did that already.